Public art makes you think differently, makes you connect differently, and it inspires you. You walk by it and you see these women and their accomplishments, their unique accomplishments. You think to yourself, could I do that? I think that's the biggest thing that art can do, is it shifts your perspective.
You know, art in public spaces is really critical for downtown. Having art in public spaces brings people outside. They're standing there, they're taking pictures with it, they're asking questions. We want to always pique curiosity of what's going on here, what is Klamath, who are they? And so that's part of what this project is all about. This is phase 3 of the Alleyway Activation Project. I think it's exciting to share the story of women. We really wanted to showcase the hands that were in bringing up Klamath. You know, without women, we wouldn't be where we are today.
The women highlighted are so unique and different. I think that's what makes the whole piece feel like all different aspects of the Klamath community are represented.
They are women who've made an impact in Klamath Falls. Some of them you would have never even known.
When you walk by, you know, you get curious about who these ladies were and what they did.
We were really fortunate because all of the artists had a tie of some sort to the person that they were painting. We were just really hoping for that deep connection to the community.
When I saw the proposal for this project, I really thought all these women are interesting. I would love to paint any of them. And then when I saw Dr. Martha Ann Dow's face, I was like, how do I know this woman? Dr. Martha Ann Dow was the president of OIT for a number of years. That's what's interesting to me is I never met her. I'm like, why do I feel excited and connected to this woman? And it was kind of cathartic for me because I started to reflect upon that time in my life, and it was a difficult time in my life. I had no plans, didn't know where I was gonna go, didn't even know where I was gonna live. It was a tumultuous time in my life. I never even thought I could go to college. She was the president of OIT while I attended there for 4 years. Not only could I think of, you know, Dr. Dow produced such a wonderful environment for me to flourish in college, I could reflect on professors, and I could remember that time and feel so grateful. It just, what used to be a time of sadness I would reflect upon has become kind of celebratory. I think the hope and the desire is that you're making a difference, but you don't always get to see the fruits of your labor, and it can be really difficult. The ripple effects that you can have in people's lives by producing good it can travel to people you don't even know. And here she is, a woman I've never met, and now I was painting her face, and I feel this strong connection to her for what she was able to produce in my life. That's why there's lights behind her, is you're putting light into the world, and you don't know how far that will travel or who will see it.
When I found out the list of names, I didn't know a lot of them. It was kind of fun to kind of dig in and explore their stories and their backgrounds. And I had no idea that my Nana was going to be highlighted. My Nana and her amazing friends, Jean and Joanne, they made magic happen in this town, really. These women were brilliant in finding underserved parts of the community that needed a little lift, or a lot of a lift. They came together to make some really beautiful things happen. Friends of the Children, the Ross Ragland, the United Way. I mean, there were so many that they impacted, and they were a force, those three. When I worked on this piece, I believe it was like 3 months after she had passed away. And so I was dealing with a lot of grief, and I was dealing with a lot of just mixed feelings about her not being here. So it was, in a way, it was super healing because I was able to sit there for a certain amount of time every day and just focus on her. I felt a release. I felt like it was something that I needed to do to get out of me. It was a really beautiful process that healed my heart and made me feel like I was doing something that paid tribute to her. I think her heart and the way she wanted to give back to the community was such a beautiful lesson for me. That's one of the reasons why I added all the florals in the picture of them, because those are like little gifts. The theme for me in creating this image was growing beautiful things in this community.
I hope people will be proud and that these visuals will lend themselves to telling stories, and that people visiting will be able to hear them because the people who live here are excited to share them.
I think you can create the life you want to live. I think you can create the community that you want to live in. When we are creating a place we want to be, we're happier, we're thriving.
And I think when we realize that we can tap into our creativity every day, then we can start creating the kind of community that we love, that we are engaged in, and that we are connected to. Because truly, I think creativity goes hand in hand with connection.